How do you find off-market land for sale? Well, the reality is you don't, because it's not for sale. That's the whole point, that it is off-market. In fact, what you're going to do is you identify land that the landowner doesn't realize that there's an opportunity there that exists for them. And you identify that, you present that to them, and hopefully it comes to a successful conclusion. Now, I've developed a process for my own business, because essentially I'm a property developer, but I've been teaching this to clients, private clients, and showing them the process. And it's an ecosystem, so you can't actually take one aspect of it out. And a lot of people that I've been working with think that, oh, maybe I've got a problem with negotiation, maybe it's the way I'm presenting it. And it's not a case of taking that element, it's a case of actually following the whole process step by step. Now, we actually have here what I'm going to present to you on the flip chart here, briefly taking you through each of the steps. So I'm going to show you how you can get a copy of that, and also our process map. This is a step-by-step process map that identifies what step you need to take next. So you've been in touch with the landowner, they've said yes, they've said no, what is the next step you need to take? And so it directs you right through the whole process, which is essentially what this roadmap is, but it gives you that whatever action you need to take next. So I'm going to tell you how you can get a hold of this. But in fact, I have a much fuller training, so this is just really a summary training. I have a much fuller training on this, which is called the 50-minute land breakthrough. And you can register for that. It's at various times. You'll find a link below or to the side, depending on where this is being hosted, that basically says 50-minute land breakthrough. And if you just click on that link, then it will take you through to where you can register for the next meeting that we are going to be holding. Anyway, in the meantime, let's get on with delivering this content. Oh, and before I go any further, of course, if you are new to the channel and haven't already subscribed, then why not? I mean, there's over 90 videos now, so please subscribe. It helps us knowing that we're providing value. And remember to hit that notification bell. And tell your friends and family if you think this might be of interest to them. And don't remember, give us a like as well. So please help us out in giving you this information, which of course is essentially free because it's on YouTube. Hi, my name is Jim J. Davidson, and I first invested in property in 1973. I completed my first new build development in 2006. As you can imagine, I've made lots of mistakes along the way, but thankfully I've got some things right, and I've managed to build a property development business. In this channel, I want to help you on your journey and perhaps share some of that knowledge with you. And so through this channel, which I hope you will subscribe to, or through our membership app, which I hope you will join, and incidentally it's free, you can learn a little bit more about building houses and building a property development business. The app is available wherever you get your app from, whether you're on iOS or you have an Android phone, or you can get accesses on desktop, and you'll find a link in the description below. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and please post your comments in the description below if you have any comments to make. Okay, so let's look at this process, and the process actually starts down here. We talk about the stages here, and we're going to run through this roadmap, come up through here, across through here, and then back, and we will end up in this square here. And I'm just going to, as I said, briefly take you through this process. So the first thing is we need to know what the planners are looking for. What's their guidance? What will they accept? In terms of local plan, in terms of the actual where you're going to build. Will they accept that? How many houses or house can you put on that piece of land that you've identified? And so that when you actually start to go and look for sites that you kind of know already, and you're not wasting time on stuff that the planners will not accept. And then you go on to looking for off-market sites, and we have very many techniques that we do that, dozens of techniques in fact, to show you how to identify off-market sites. So you're looking for land that essentially is not on the market, and therefore that puts you in a much stronger negotiating position in order to get it at the right price, because that's essential to your development. After all, if you can't buy your land at the right price, then your development is not going to work. And then next we would contact the owner. So we would say, we've kind of identified that you have a site that may be of interest to us. We can show you how to extract more value out of that than is currently you're getting from it, because essentially it's got no planning in place, it's got none of the things that are needed that increases the value. Because essentially what happens with land is when you put planning in place, you can multiply the actual value by 100 times. The trouble is, a lot of people don't even know that that's necessarily, they have that valuable asset and they don't know how to extract that value. So we contact them, see if they're interested in our proposition, and then we start working out, assuming that they've said yes, then we start working out how much that is the value to us. And the first place we have to start is, what is the end value? So if we put on 1 house or 10 houses or however many houses it is, or flats, what is the total sum that is going to sell for? So we need to establish what the end value is. And then we need to go through detailing all the costs. There tends to be 2 types of costs. There tends to be the development costs. So there's the point where you get to the proposition of where you've got land that is ready to be built upon, and then you've actually got the physical build costs. So you have those 2 lots of costs that you have to identify, and that will then you'll be able to then bring to this stage here where you'll be able to assess the actual viability. Does this stack up? Can I make a profit out of this? And is it sufficient profit? So it's not just making a profit, because £1 will be a profit, but is there enough profit in there? And we recommend on the build cost, you want to be making 25% margin on it, and on the land, you need to be making a development cost on that as well. So there's 2 profit centers involved in this process. And then we go into the negotiation. We present our formula to the landowner and how we've arrived at our figures, and so therefore we go through that negotiation process. Having made a deal, in other words, we've agreed on how much this land is worth, and it can be dependent on the number of properties that are going to be there. So it's not necessarily just a straightforward one figure. It could be, well, we're going to get 5 houses on there, but we might get 6, or we might only get 4. So it might be a little bit of flexibility built in here. And then we will talk about how do we legally tie that up, because we're about to go away and spend a little bit of money to gain that planning permission. So we want to make sure that we actually are able to reap the benefits of that effort. So we need to tie that up legally, but the beauty here is that we don't need to be putting out a large amount of money. In other words, we don't need to be buying the land at this stage, we just need to be able to put it into a framework where we legally have the benefit, and the landowner can't go away and market it after us having done the full work. And then finally, we eventually are going to have to fund it. We're either going to fund it with our own money, we're going to fund it and maybe partially with our own money. We might be funding it with none of our own money. We might be bringing in investors. We might be bringing in development finance, or if you're a self-builder, you might be having in a self-build mortgage. So it's some way we're going to fund it, and so that's the final process, because once we've move on to the next stage, we need to at least know how we are going to fund it. So essentially, that's the process that we go through. If you'd like a much fuller explanation of that process, then sign up for our next training, the 15-minute land breakthrough, and you'll get a much fuller explanation and understanding of that process. So I look forward to seeing you on the training, and until then, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos, then click to watch the next video. Please remember to visit our website at builditandprosper.com, Together app, or click on the button on the YouTube header if you're on desktop.